and recurrent obligations and expenses as they engage in the caregiving of their dependents and loved ones. We have a disaster on our hands. Intervention is critical and must be done now. All we want is for the president to unlock our country so that we can get out, go out, get back to work, begin to earn again, and be able to feed our families. And before I invite our dear chair to just say a few remarks and read out our joint press statement, I'd like to tell you a story. This is a short story about our president. Now, our dear president, His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, unilaterally decided that the best thing to do was to lock down this country. And everyone is entitled to an opinion, though not every opinion is a meaningful contribution to a problem. What the president, Uhuru, forgot, overlooked and disregarded is how the lockdown has adversely affected Kenyans. Freedom of movement is not simply about being able to go hang out in the mall or to lie around on Givenchy gardens. Freedom of movement has to do with the ability to earn freely. It has to do with a friendly environment for businesses to operate freely. Now, when lockdown is imposed, it automatically makes business players shift into crisis mode. During a crisis, budgets are withheld. People stop spending, and the spillover effect of hoarding cash brings about a liquidity crisis. Money has ceased to flow everywhere, in every industry all over this nation. Employers have stopped paying employees. Employees have been sent home. Now they are unable to pay their rent. So ultimately, landlords too are broke. Landlords cannot service bank loans. Banks have decided to foreclose and auction assets, and without money to pay for lawyers, landlords cannot get injunctions in court. Wait a minute. Does the executive follow court orders anymore? The Mamamboga now has no one to sell to. Customers have disappeared. Stock is going bad. The Mamamboga has thrown it away and has packed up her bags. She cannot go back to her rural area because the city is on lockdown. Her kids are now hungry. She cannot pay for school fees. Wait, schools are closed. She's now stranded. What does she do? We have a businessman, and a businessman is now cash-strapped. No one is taking up his services anymore. Clients who owe him money are now saying tuongee after lockdown. So swali ni, Bwana Rais, lockdown itaisha lini? Nchi itafunguliwa lini? Only the president knows. Now we are seeing that this same businessman has a family member who is now in hospital, who has been hospitalized with COVID-19. The bills are rising. The bill is now at 1 million Kenya shillings. The insurance provider sent an email stating that they do not cover COVID-19 complications. And therefore, despite him having paid the premium, unfortunately, the insurance company cannot cover this cost. They claim it is outside the policy, and he has no money to pay the hospital. He has exhausted all his savings. He had planned his life very well. Unfortunately, everything is going to disarray. The hospital is piling pressure. They want a top-up, and they need a guarantor. They will not allow his parent to be discharged and to go back home to self-isolate. So they cannot release the patient from hospital. They're also threatening to get the patient off oxygen. And this, fellow Kenyans, is what is happening on ground. This, fellow Kenyans, is the dire reality and the dire consequences of a misguided decision to lock down our country. And this is why we want the President, Uhuru Kenyatta, to unlock our country. So at this juncture, allow me to just call upon and invite our